Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our live stream number 3, day 2 in a row. Wow, we are just pumping these out. It's almost like we've got nothing else to do. Well, not true. Got an episode coming out this week. Don't you fret about that. But thank you for everybody for joining us. I'm David Cummings, the host, showrunner of this show. Thank you for joining us. I'm here in Toronto, Canada, self-isolating, staying healthy so far. So thank you for joining us. And you see the cast before you, two Brits and a American/Canadian and another Canadian and another American. And that's not confusing at all. So I'm going to introduce a gentleman who I think on the stream is beside me. He joined us for stream number 1, and we're so glad he's back. He is a gentleman hailing from the great state of New Jersey, star of stage and screen and audiobook and all things in between, and a marvelous singer, musician. Just what doesn't he do? He goes by the name, scandalously, of Graham Rowat. Graham,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi, everybody. I was so jealous of David's sexy lighting that I got a little color.
Hey, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
for my
color.
kill room. All right.
Welcome back, Graham. Thank you for being here again.
Thanks for having me.
Marvelous. And down on the bottom row, or the foundational bedrock row of the screen, the scream and stream and screaming, we have a gentleman who has been with us since season 3 and has been all over the world with us, and we are thrilled that he is joining us from his home in Ripon, England. Would you welcome Mr. David Ault? Yay!
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone.
David Ault. David Ault.
Yes.
How
Season
are
4,
you?
Actually. Season 3 is the one on the bottom. That's Mr. Boone there. I was season 4.
Oh, season 4. My apologies. I just say everybody's season 3. Sounds good.
When everything got good.
Indeed. So you're keeping well, David.
I am indeed. Thank you. Yes, Yorkshire is beautiful, and we've been blessed with some lovely weather. So even though we haven't been able to go outside as much as we would want to,
Yes.
at least we're getting government-permitted exercise in the gorgeous surroundings of Yorkshire.
Marvelous. Marvelous indeed. And, of course, filling out our cast, the exquisite actor from Aylesbury, England. She also has toured with us both in America and Europe. We are delighted she's joining us. The one and the only Erika Sanderson.
Hello. Thank you very much. Hello. Yep. We're doing
Erika.
okay.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
we're
Now,
doing well.
you're a little bit farther south in England. Is it? Is it sort of like, not to dwell on this COVID nonsense, but is sort of London the epicenter in England, and it sort of goes out from there?
Yeah, London's definitely the epicenter.
Yeah.
Because London's the epicenter of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all quite
London.
crowded there as well. So
Mm.
yes, but I'm a little bit further out of London. So yeah,
Right.
we're doing all right around here.
Good, good. Yes, the running joke on tour is that basically all of England is considered London. So that's, and you can hear the laughter it gets. So, and I won't pretend to forget to introduce him again this time. Joining us off screen, but with his piano being tinkled, would you welcome the maestro from Cincinnati, Ohio, Mr. Brandon Boone?
Hey, everyone, how you doing? Hope everyone is well and safe.
Indeed, indeed. So we will put Brandon on the screen at the end, so you can see his beautiful, beautiful face.
The meet and greet.
He'll have to put his clothes back on. But
Yeah.
These
That's right.
pants.
these pants.
Yes, indeed.
US pants or UK pants?
Both.
Trousers even.
A bit of both. Well, look, we've got over 100 people joining us, so
Wow.
why don't we plug into this this fun script that we're going to do for you tonight. This is a script from the old time radio show. Boy, I'm not exactly sure when this was around. I'm going to say maybe 40s or 50s. A show called Suspense. Perfect name for creepy, thrilling, chilling horror tales. And so we're going to do a script about a gentleman who lives in an apartment. I believe it's in New York City, but strangely, there's a lot of Brits living in New York at this time. And there's a gentleman who is noticing something out his apartment window. The apartment across the street holds a very strange sight to him. So we're going to find out what that is. And we're going to join him in his apartment. His house cleaner is vacuuming. And I dare say we should find out more about this story entitled That Thing in the Window.
Mary, turn the vacuum off here. Turn it off. Thank you. Just come over here, will you? I want to show you something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, right here. Yes, out this window. Yes. Now look across the street. No, directly across the opposite apartment. Can you see the window? About 3 windows in from the left, with the blue draperies.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's someone sitting there in a chair. He hasn't moved all night. I think he must be dead.
Dead? Oh, Lord have mercy, Mr. Ames.
Well, take a look at him and tell me what you think.
All right, but I don't fancy looking at a corpse, Mr. Ames. It's unlucky. Now, which window did you say? Third one over?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I wish I had my glasses with me.
It's there, right there, where my finger's pointing.
I'm afraid I don't see it yet, Mr. Ames.
Oh, look, the window with the blue draperies. He's wearing it's a sort of a grey suit. The arm, you see the arm hanging over the side of the chair?
No, sir. But you've got good eyes, Mr. Ames. If you see it, I won't be arguing with you. Now, what you going to do about it?
I don't know. I only began to notice it last night. I guess first I have to be sure that the man is really dead.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Ames. You don't want to be getting yourself into any trouble now. And maybe he's only sleeping, or perhaps he's incapacitated. Maybe.
Yes?
Hello. I'm Martin Ames. Are you the superintendent of this apartment house?
Well, that's what it says on the door.
Yes, of course. Well, I've come to inquire about one of your tenants.
Yeah? What is it? What do you want to know?
Well, I live across the street. Look, I'll be frank with you, sir. I've been looking out of my window across to this building now for 2.5 days, and, well, there seems to be someone dead in one of the windows.
Which window?
Well, it's the 10th floor. I've counted from the street, and it's 10 stories up. There's a window with blue draperies, about, 3 windows in from the left, facing towards me, that is. And there's a man sitting there slumped down in a chair.
Just a minute. I'll get out my chart. 10th floor up from the street, eh?
Yes.
Well, it's really the 9th floor. The lobby counts 1. They got 2 apartments along the front of the house. It's in the front, yeah?
That's right, yes.
Now there's 3 windows in from the left. That'll be 9B, a 4-room. No, that couldn't be right. 9B is 2 ladies. You say this is a man?
Yes, the face isn't clearly visible, the head's slumped forward, but he's wearing a grey suit and he's sitting in a high-winged back chair.
I don't place him.
Well, maybe he doesn't belong in the house. Maybe he was just visiting someone. Like I said, this is all conjecture, of course. He may not be dead, but I've watched him a good deal. I'm home a lot in the daytime. My profession, the stage, doesn't take up too much of my time. But it looks quite suspicious.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Well, do you mind if I stick around?
Oh, no. Sit down. I'll give 9B a ring first on the house phone.
Hello?
Oh, Miss Landis?
Yes, this is Miss Landis. Who is this?
It's Mr. Hanson, the super. Is everything all right up there, Miss Landis?
Everything all right? Why, yes. Yes, of course.
Oh, okay, Miss Landis. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, that's that. No soap in 9B. 9A's in the country, anyway. If I got the windows straight, like you said, it ought to be 9B.
The single ladies?
Yeah, only it couldn't be them. They're real old maids. They've been living in the house for years. Real old-fashioned type, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Say, if they knew you thought there was a man in their apartment, the two of them would just jump out of their skins.
Well, I don't know what to say. Are you sure it must be that apartment?
Oh, yeah, that's the place, all right. But you probably made a little mistake. You know how your eyes can play tricks on you. After all, it is a pretty wide street.
Well, I don't think I made any mistake.
Hanson speaking.
Hello, Mr. Hanson. This is Mr. Ames.
Again? It's not there.
Look, Mr. Hanson, please.
I checked up on the two apartments this morning. 9A is back from the country. Everybody's okay. And 9B is out walking the dog. No dead bodies in the whole place.
Look, I can see it. It's still there.
Okay. Just where? Will you tell me where?
In the same window. The one you said was 9B. Have you gone inside 9B?
No, but I asked them if anybody was sick or dead, and they said no.
You asked them? Why didn't you just search their apartment?
What do you mean, break in when they're out?
No, search it while they're there. Ring the bell, walk in and do it.
Yeah, not without a search warrant from the police. These apartments don't belong to me. I just take care of the building for the company.
Then let's call the police.
Oh, no, not me, mister. I didn't see no dead body up there.
Well, then I will. After all, somebody's got to do something.
I still maintain, officer, these two sisters are as refined ladies as you can find anywhere. High class, nice, church-going ladies. They used to teach school up here at Franklin Elementary.
Nah, that don't mean a thing.
Well, as it happens, there's a play on Broadway right now in which two nice old ladies commit murder after murder.
They got a dog in there. Now, will you tell me one dog that would stay for almost a week in a flat with a dead person?
I'm not telling you anything. All I know is this gentleman, Mr. Ames here, reported a stiff over here. And if he says there is one, there is until it's proved different. Right, Mr. Ames?
Well, I keep seeing the thing day in and day out. I'm not working at the moment, and being home so much,
None of the other neighbors have complained. Dead bodies ain't exactly... Oh, all right. Let's go. Right this way, please. I hope they're home.
Well, if they ain't home, you got a pass key, don't you?
Oh, yeah. But we're not supposed to use it unless for an emergency.
Yeah, well, this is an emergency. The dog bite?
Sometimes.
Get down, Buster. Down. Get down now. Yes? Who is it?
Well, we're awfully sorry, Miss Landis, but there's been some kind of mix-up. These two gentlemen want to look over your apartment.
But why? It's not for rent.
Oh, I know. It's just that they want to search around and check.
Ah, come on. Cut out the palaver. Hey, look, lady. A dead body's been reported sitting in one of your windows.
What?
Yeah. The guy lives across the street, and he's been seeing it for over a week.
Oh,
Now, come on. Open up.
a dead body? But that's impossible. My sister and I live here all alone.
Yeah. We know all about it.
Excuse me a minute. I'll call my sister.
Oh, come on.
It's the police.
Hey, lady, come on. I'm not standing out here all day. Come on, give me the passkey.
It won't do no good. They got a chain on the door from the inside.
All right, open up in the name of the law.
May I ask you what all of this is about?
Certainly, lady. I got a search warrant made out by this gentleman who says to search your place. He said you got a dead body in here.
A dead body? Why, that's perfectly ridiculous.
It is, but it's been reported. Now, kindly take that door off the chain and let us through.
Of course. But first, may I ask, how did this peeping Tom see into our apartment? I thought, Mr. Hanson, we're quite private.
Well, you see...
He lives across the street on the same level.
I just happen to be.
Oh, well, then we shall have to keep our shades down in the future. although one would think a grown man would have something better to do. Very well, gentlemen. Do come in. Make yourselves right at home.
Thanks.
Is he coming in here too, Mr. Busybody?
No, he doesn't have to, if you don't want him.
Well, I most certainly do not.
Okay, Mr. Ames, you better stay outside.
Officer, I was going to...
He does not want to poke around in our private rooms. Is that it? Then he'd better have some ulterior motive in warming his way in here. Maybe he wants to come and get the lay of the land so he can break in and rob us.
Okay. He's not coming in. Now, let's take a look at your window. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, okay? Hey, Ames, what's the big idea?
What, you didn't find it?
No.
That's very strange.
Yeah? The only thing stranger about it is your eyesight. You ought to get your glasses changed.
There wasn't anything in 9B?
No.
I don't understand it. How could I have seen it so distinctly and it's not there? Perhaps it isn't in the window now. Perhaps they hid it while we were waiting outside the door.
Hid it? Now where do you hide a dead body in a four-room flat? I looked in all the clothes closets and under the sofas and the chairs.
Maybe they got it out of the back into the service elevator.
Single-handed, with all the garbage cans and laundry going up and down.
Perhaps they had accomplices. Oh, you probably think... Oh, look, it's so terrible to keep seeing it and feeling it slowly decaying there in secret. Why, the thing would be there for weeks. It's so high above the streets. Perhaps it'll never be found. Perhaps it's already being destroyed.
Well, then, if it's gone, what do you got to worry about? You don't have to sit and look at it no more.
Yeah, but I hope it is. I tell you, it's really getting me down. I haven't slept for nights keeping vigil. I'm in a nervous state. I haven't been this nervous in years.
I can see that. Look, why don't you try forgetting about it for a while? Try not to look over into that window. Or go away for a change. You've done what you could, Mr. Ames. If there really is a stiff over there, then it's my business, ain't it? And if there isn't...
You mean, you think I'm... What, I may be...
I'm not saying anything, Mr. Ames, but if I was you, I'd try catching up on my night's sleep.
Hello?
Miss Landis, I'm sorry to disturb you at this time of night, but I really... Look, I'm desperate. I haven't anywhere else to turn.
What? Who is this?
This is Mr. Ames, Martin Ames, your neighbour, the one across the street. I was in your apartment yesterday morning with the police, or, well, rather, I was almost inside your apartment. Your sister wouldn't let me in. Now, please don't think of me as a pest, Miss Landis. I don't mean to annoy you. It was only because I was so desperate that I initiated that search.
It's quite all right. Goodbye.
No, please don't hang up, because it's worse now than ever it was. Miss Landis, I've been sitting here opposite your apartment, staring into your window, and I'm only asking you to help me, Miss Landis. Help me just a little.
Help you?
It's still there, Miss Landis.
What? What is still there?
The dead body in your window.
Oh, why, there isn't. How dare you? When the police arrive...
I know now it doesn't have anything to do with you, but would you do me just one favour, Miss Landis? Would you go into your living room and just check once more?
No, I will not. I won't do anything of the kind. You're out of your mind.
Well, perhaps I am, Miss Landis. That's what I'm trying to find out. Then perhaps your sister would help me.
She's not at home.
Oh, Lord.
And anyway, I don't see how you can see in. I pulled the shades down in there since yesterday morning.
I know. They're all down still.
Then how can you see?
I can't. Well, at least not the actual body. It's just a silhouette. Look, I'm not belying you or your sister, Miss Landis. It's just if there's someone dead in there, it's not you who are doing it, but think of me.
What?
If you could just be here and look over there and see the shadow of those quiet fingers, that shoulder, that head.
No, please, stop it. It's not here. It isn't here.
Just tell me one thing, Miss Landis. There is a chair by that window, though, isn't there?
Yes, there's a chair.
Oh, a high-backed wing chair?
Yes.
And have you anything on it? Anything piled up? I mean, like curtains, cushions, a dressmaker's dummy, or...
Of course not.
Or do you have a plant in the window in front of it, some kind of an odd table, anything that would cast a shadow like a man's head slumped forward or an arm hanging limp?
No, there's nothing but the chair.
Then would you please just do me one more favor, Miss Landis? Please, as an experiment, would you just go into the living room and move that chair from the window, please?
If I do this, will you stop pestering us?
Yes.
You would leave us alone? Forever?
Yes, if it works.
If it works, what do you mean?
I can't tell you, Miss Landis, until you move the chair.
Oh, all right. All right. Hello?
Yes?
I moved it away from the window. It's at the other end of the room now, and it's empty.
Oh, I see. Well, thanks very much, Miss Landis. I know what I have to do now.
You mean? What?
Yes, Miss Landis. It's still there. Miss Landis?
Where is it? I want to see it at once.
Oh, yes, miss. Come in. I hope you'll excuse my appearance. I just passed another sleepless night.
So has my sister, and so have I. What did you mean by this business, Mr. Ames? You've quite frightened my sister half to death, seeing things that aren't there when you know they're not.
I know they're not. Oh, I wish they weren't. I wish to heaven I never looked out of that window. I wish those walls were solid stone, and your walls... Oh.
You are a sick man, Mr. Ames.
Oh, am I? I wish I were. But I'm perfectly sane and well. I went to the psychiatrist yesterday, and guess what he told me? That there's nothing wrong with me. Nothing.
I can't believe that.
I suppose it's a form of madness to persist in this hideous image. But not me, Miss Landis. No, I've finally come to an entirely different conclusion.
And what is that?
The supernatural.
The supernatural? A ghost? What nonsense, Mr. Ames.
Well, yes, I suppose it is nonsense to you.
Yes.
You've been a school teacher. You believe in logic and common sense, that things that give up the pretense of solidity in this frail life of ours. But I have eyes. I've always had a feeling for the hidden beyond, the intangible, the shadowy. We are children, Miss Landis, children playing along the edge of the ocean. We laugh and toy with the waves and mock fright, but sometimes one of us slips down into the darkness. Sometimes the depths rise and we glimpse the yearning things of the eternal.
You put things rather oddly, Mr. Ames. Just exactly what do you mean?
Simply this. I checked on that building with the real estate agents last noon after I left my psychiatrist. There was a murder.
In our apartment?
Oh, the report doesn't say. You know how they try to hush those things up, but it was a man, a young man, a lover of one of the tenants, a Ms. Sweetser.
Sweetser? Why, that's the name of the people who lived here before us.
Oh.
They were an elderly couple, Mr. and Mrs. Sweetser. I never saw any Ms. Sweetser.
Well, she died. She was the daughter. She killed herself afterwards by jumping out of one of those windows.
How perfectly awful.
A rather ghastly coincidence, isn't it?
Was it out of our window?
No. She must have been a very neurotic person, though, this Miss Sweetser. Half crazed almost with love and jealousy. I checked over tales of an old newspaper. She cut his throat, nearly decapitated him.
Oh,
It said that when they lifted his body out of the chair later, his head almost rolled.
oh, excuse me, Mr. Ames. I'd rather not hear any. I still can't believe that there is something. If there could possibly be something, why haven't we seen it too? Why should you...
Haven't you seen it, Miss Landis?
No!
Are you sure? Never. Perhaps in the middle of the night, getting up and passing that room, seeing that chair outlined against the window, just in passing, perhaps. You've never had a glimpse.
No, I'm sorry, I really must be going.
No. Please, stay and look at it. I want you to see it out of my window.
No, my sister Elaine. She's very nervous. I can't leave her alone so long.
Then how will I know? How, Miss Landis? I thought you can hear... Look, especially... It'll only take a minute, really. It'll only take a minute. It's right in here, in the bedroom. I just got to let up the Venetian blinds. Miss Landis, don't go. Miss Landis. Oh. Hello? Oh, hello, Sergeant. This is Ames, Martin Ames. I just called to let you know I think you're right about that good night's sleep. Yes. I'm going away tomorrow for a long rest. Shutting up my apartment. I'm all tied up in knots. I don't know what to think. Oh, they did. Yes, I saw the moving van in front of the house, but I didn't know it was those two sisters. I couldn't take it. Well, I can't take it much longer myself.
Oh, Martin, bravo, old boy.
Not so loud.
Why all the mystery?
Oh, the superintendent, he doesn't like me.
Ha! Well, you'd think he wouldn't like anyone grabbing this beautiful apartment right from under his nose. He probably had it promised to a friend.
But you've got it now, Ronald, just as I said.
So I have, old boy. So I have. Well, and it's beautiful. You know I'm crazy about it. Marty, you've outdone yourself. You've been more than generous.
Think nothing of it, Ronald. I was glad to do it for such a distinguished colleague.
Well, it certainly was nice of you, and I wish I could do something in return. I really do. Perhaps that play I'm doing next week. You know, there's a part in it, a rather small part, but very necessary.
Well, thanks just the same, but I'm doing pretty well just now, Ronald.
Well, I don't know how you found it, Martin. I mean, in this housing shortage, you know, even the superintendent didn't notice the rent. When your call came to my manager, I left rehearsal. I wouldn't trust it to anyone but myself. I left the whole cast just standing there when I came over. And when I asked this gloomy character, Hanson, he just said nothing about it. I insisted, of course. I told him who I was, and finally he relented. Sure enough, these two sisters who lived here just decided to move out.
I hope you didn't mention my name. You know, if Hanson knew that I tipped you off, he'd...
Oh, no. You'd asked me not to. Anyway, I think my own name was enough. Seriously, Marty, how did you know? Were they friends of yours?
Oh, no. It's all a long story. Come on, let's sit down, shall we? In the living room. Oh, no. You take the chair. I guess they must have left that when they moved out.
Well, thank you.
Well, to be frank, Ronald, I got this apartment by a ruse.
A ruse? What kind of ruse?
Oh, pretty nasty one, actually. I frightened the last tenants away. I told them I saw a dead man sitting here in this window.
No, not not really? Oh, how clever of you. Of course there was one.
You see, I live across the street, directly across in that apartment there with the French curtains. One night, just sitting there late, I got an amusing thought. There was a kind of shadow in this chair, the one you're sitting in. It reminded me a little bit of a corpse. And it came to me that it might be fun to create a great prank, a character, a corpse that wasn't there.
I don't follow you.
Some actors need a play, Ronald, to create a character. Others, the great one, work out their own dramas. I proceeded to invent a part for myself. I was the eyewitness, the innocent bystander across the street who saw a corpse, I hear, and I kept seeing it, and I kept seeing it, and finally, by the power of suggestion, it became real enough to frighten them away.
Oh, well, very clever. Wasn't it rather drastic?
I always hoped we'd be neighbors, Ronald. As a matter of fact, the whole idea for this thing came to me that day in October, when you turned me down from that part outside the restaurant. Don't you remember? You said you were looking for a place then. Oh, yes, it was then I thought how nice it would be to see you right across the street, sitting in this window. I simply had to bring it about.
Well...
Oh, no, Ronald, don't get up. I'm not through.
Oh, really, old boy? I think the gang don't even know that I'm here.
They'll wait, yes. People always wait for you, don't they, Ronald? I could call them, free, of course, but the phone's been disconnected.
Well, I am afraid that which way is the door, old boy? Now, really, Marty, it's been very kind of you to do this.
Don't you like the apartment, Ronald? Aren't you going to take it? After all my work?
Yes, I do like it very much. The door is locked.
Yes, Ronald. I'm afraid you'll have to find your way out alone.
What? No, you can't. Oh, no.
There. That'll keep you quiet. Silence always became you better than all that ranting and glibness and charm, Ronald. Oh, and now I've got the part for you. A part to end all parts, entirely in a chair. There's not much action, not a line for you. No, Ronald, just sit there, that's it. Yes, you just sit in this chair by the window. Here, yes. It'll be the greatest performance of your career. You like to hog all the fattest roles for yourself, don't you? Well, this is a part that's been talked up and down this street for weeks. You'll play the part of a ghost, a corpse that never was, a hallucination in my brain. And who will be your audience? I, the insignificant, outmoded ham who wasn't fit to appear in your precious plays, but good enough to put you here, Ronald. Who's the better actor now, Ronald? Goodbye, Ronald. See you across the street.
And the curtain falls on our performance. The end. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. That was The Thing in the Window, a.k.a. A Face in the Window. Performed magnificently by David Ault, Erika Sanderson, Graham Rowat, and yours truly, David Cummings. Now, what I need to do is, as promised, I'm going to bring Brandon Boone back into the...
I get to show my face today.
Hey, there's Brandon.
Hey.
There is Brandon.
You just wanted
Hello,
me to call
everyone.
myself an outmoded ham, didn't you, David?
Outmoded ham, yes, aren't we all? Well, that is a lot of fun, and thank you, everybody. Oh, look, lots of applause coming up on the chat. So thank you, everybody, for listening. We've got about 150 people watching us.
Wow.
Yes, indeed, live in digital. Well, awesome. And yes, thank you everyone for joining us. And of course, our lovely cast here. Graham, any parting words for our fans?
No, everybody, stay safe, wash your hands, stay sane.
Yes, indeed. Stay saner than Mr. Ames. That's for sure. And the man himself, David, any last words for our friends and family?
Well, same. Stay safe, wash your hands, and keep supporting the arts.
Yes, very true. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on online. A lot of people doing performances and readings, and that leads us to Erika. Erika, any last words? Maybe you can talk about the Sonnets project that you're involved with, and Graham as well.
Oh, yes. Basically, my very, very beloved home theatre, the Limelight in Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire, obviously, as with lots of venues, has gone dark. And it's an art centre, and they support artists, they support writers, they support musicians, because it's a live venue, as well as offering workshops to all kinds of people. They are producing, their in-house company, Unbound Theatre, is producing as much online content as we can. And one of which is producing all 154 of Shakespeare's sonnets. Lovely Graham has already submitted one, as did Erin, and Mr. Ault has also recorded a few as well. I've done one. If there are any voice actors as well out there, you are more than welcome to send your details in or record a sonnet. You can find it by following Unbound Theatre on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those. And yes, they're also producing lots more adventurous stuff as well. Yes, there's some more exciting stuff that I'll be appearing in from next week actually as well, that got announced earlier on today. So I've been recording like a little audio book for another character that I play, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So yes, please do support, as David said, support the arts. You can find Unbound Theatre, and yes, please do everyone stay safe. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It really, really does mean a lot.
Yes.
As performers, we're out here putting stuff out in our little, our little bubbles, as it were. And we're all tremendously grateful that you guys are here watching us. You're here supporting us, sharing stuff, liking stuff. It kind of makes us all feel a bit more connected. Thank you for being our family online.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think sharing this kind of stuff with others is very cool. This whole live stream stuff is a bit of an experiment for us. So yeah, share the channel with friends and family. And, it's nice that some of these old time radio scripts are a lot cleaner than some of the stories we usually do on the podcast. So if you have friends or family who maybe aren't as turned on by horror with lots of gore or swearing, then these are good respites for that. And Mr. Boone. Oh, go ahead, David.
Oh, I was just going to say, as I've just been looking through my Twitter feed, and as Carenza says, I am in my cupboard. This is my cupboard. Yes, you can see the coat hangers behind me. So
just before we came on, actually, live, literally, my daughter came running in and got changed and put on my dress and was like right off camera, and I was like, "Oh, yes, go to bed." So yeah, it was almost like that famous interruption online of that guy there. So yes, welcome to our homes.
I like how you say you're in your cupboard and not that you're in the closet, David.
I left there a long time ago, David, as you know.
Indeed. And Brandon, any final words for our fans?
Same as everyone else, stay hands, wash your sane, all that kind of stuff, and take care of yourselves. And again, thanks for coming out and supporting the show and hanging out with us.
Is Terminus still free, Brandon?
Yeah, they're all free right now.
Nice.
I haven't disabled that yet. So
there's a great opportunity to get a lot of Brandon's music absolutely free. He's literally just throwing out at the window of his house. Where do they find you?
Just the trash can. BrandonBoone.bandcamp.com.
BrandonBoone.bandcamp.com. So check that out for lots of music from Brandon.
That's right.
So coming to go through your bins, Brandon, would that be counted as an essential journey?
I think that's up for you to discover.
Go to the Bandcamp link then. Okay.
Indeed. Well, thank you, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you probably next week for our next live stream. We gave you 2 this week just to tide you over, and then we'll be back next week with more fun and excitement and live theater, so as it were. All righty. So thanks, everybody. take care, stay sleepless, and I'm going to kill the live stream here. We'll talk to you soon. Brace yourself.